YouTube, what it do, man? It's your boy Benji. We're back in between the ropes. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe so I can get rid of this farmer tan, man. Hey, but look, I appreciate each and every one of y'all that's been showing love and subscribing. Additionally, we've been having fun on Patreon. We've been catching up. Again, I do want to appreciate each and every one of y'all that have been letting me know movies, TV shows, and wrestling storylines, as well as matches to check out. We catching it, a vibe, and having fun. So I do appreciate y'all for joining the community. Additionally, this is 6 years worth of AEW. And you know it got crazy. So I'm a recently new convert to AEW. I've been checking it out. I'm locked in now. I will admit. I have been catching the episodes week in, week out. Y'all let me know too if y'all want to see me like live stream some of these episodes a little bit more. We've done a little bit of live streams in regards to the pay-per-views and whatnot. So it's a little bit of vibe. But I did go live for a good portion of this episode. So if you missed it, you missed it. But let's get into what happened, man. The show opened and the Young Bucks are broke, man. The Young Bucks were outside the Hard Rock Casino trying to plan their big flashy entrance for Dynamite's 6th anniversary. Matt was scribbling pyro ideas like a kid designing his birthday party, while Nick said, "Hold my friend's jacket," and walked inside with a bag of money. And side note, how y'all feel about the Men in Black glasses? Spoiler alert, the house always wins. By the time Matt came back, Nick had gambled away all the production budget. Instead of lasers and smoke cannons, we got the Broke Bucks. I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty funny. Honestly, the Broke Bucks sounds like an indie band that only plays free shows at college bars. So we cut live to Matt and Nick in the ring, looking like they just found out the ATM rejected their card. Man, they were sick. I know they were loving it, living on top of the world with all this money. Hey man, one thing you can't take with you is that cash. We had a huge tag match. Kenny Omega and BRODIDO versus Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks. Or really the young penniless Bucks. The good news is Kenny Omega returned with a massive entrance, proving that he is absolutely the friend you want if you lose half of the rent. Josh Alexander immediately squared up with Kenny to get some revenge for a few weeks ago. But once the Bucks tagged in, it was like watching two kids try and fight their daddy. Bandito had some fun mocking them with the Macarena, and the Bucks returned in peak middle school dance fashion. Naturally, they got double Hurricane Rana for their efforts. King tagged in and dropped some bodies like a bouncer with a half-price tequila, like. You know what I'm saying? Like. And then they had one of the dumbest but like funniest segments. King had a body slam. Matt got slammed on top of him. Then Nick. Then Omega said, "Me too," and jumped into the pile. And then Bandito thought about it. The Young Bucks didn't remember they're supposed to be dangerous wrestlers and went on a super kick spree. And then at one point they even super kick Omega's brain into next week. Alexander joined in with a little bit of a suplex slam. BRODIDO and Omega just took turns wrecking people until Omega finally planted Alexander with a one-winged angel for the win. Omega celebrated, but then Josh Alexander blindsided him. The Bucks stood there like, do we help or nah? Proving that once again, god dang. The Bucks' loyalty is really just as stable as Nick's blackjack strategy. I mean, if you got to think about it, since I've been watching, I've seen these dudes flip-flop from side to side. I mean, they literally join people just for money, just for an opportunity to get on the show. They crazy, man. And y'all let me know this is a big thing, but apparently Jungle Boy was what his name is, and Luchasaurus came in to clean house. Double DDTs, double choke slams, and a reminder that dinosaurs never truly died. They just wait for a nostalgia pop. I mean, Omega even got on Jack Perry's face, and the two shoved each other like old roommates, arguing over rent. And then before this escalated into more levels of drama, Perry launched himself past Omega and wiped out the Bucks instead. As you can tell, the intro to the show is pretty crazy, man. Then Kenny Omega spoke a little bit before he got jumped. He got on the mic and went into full emotional mode, thanking the fans for 6 years of Dynamite, talking about the highs, lows, and how the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. It was really wholesome. Like a Hallmark card that got wrapped in spandex. But then the lights went out. And then Andrade, El Idolo, immediately reminded Omega that AEW anniversaries are celebrated with head kicks and butterfly suplexes, not cake. Don Callis shakes his hand, and just like that, Omega's touching speech ended with a concussion. Now this is funny. A lot of people had a lot to say about this. Look at this. Andrade's back in AEW. Andrade's back in WWE. Oh, he's back in AEW. No way, he's back in WWE. He returned to AEW. Me showing up at my ex's house after my little situationship didn't work out. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Hey, but in WWE, I'm not gonna lie, I probably complain about his booking enough. I questioned plenty of weeks where Andrade was. The dude literally went missing for months at the Charlotte Flair return. I got my own guesses. He probably went over there to join Charlotte, and then after things fizzled out with their relationship, dude said, I gotta go. But this had to be like record timing, bro. Dude supposedly just didn't show up to WWE's event. No, like just ghosted everybody. No call, no show. And then 2 weeks later, the dude just shows up in AEW. How did he even get out of his contract that fast? This dude is amazing. At least, at his first introduction to the show, he's involved in something serious. I mean, if you think about it, since the dude returned in 2024 to WWE in the Royal Rumble, what has he done? Nothing. He just returned to the Royal Rumble for the pop. And that was it. He never really got a segment. The only thing that you could argue that he got highlighted was when he went Game 7 with Melo that actually ended up with no winner, and he ended up never getting a championship opportunity. The only opportunity he got was a triple threat match for the title, which is actually a really good match in one of those pay-per-views. But at least he's thrust into a storyline with main characters. But let's talk about it. The Don Callis family got a lot of branches off that family tree. I see why y'all like that cat lady, man. She showed up and interrupted Mercedes Moné, dude, who was eyeing another belt for the collection. She wants to own the tag team championships. But this woman showed up with a mini Mercedes Moné puppet. Wanted to tag team with Mercedes. Hey, look, at this point, if you can't beat him, join him. I don't blame him. If I was anyone right now looking for gold, why not team up with Mercedes? She obviously knows how to get some belts. The Protostar matched up against Orange Cassidy for the championship, but what really made this match interesting, and look, I told y'all, Kyle Fletcher is really interested in me. He's been growing on me. Hologram shows up and ends up costing Orange Cassidy. And while everyone is in shock, when Kyle Fletcher secures the win, Hologram walks up the ramp and then rips off his hologram shirt in order to reveal that he's really El Clon, the dude that has been breaking and entering all of our technological systems for a few weeks. I'm interested in where they can take this. I'm down for a clone story. And Toni Storm went full old Hollywood again. She was demanding attention like she was the love child of Marilyn Monroe and had a fever dream. She was upset about not getting enough spotlight. So naturally, she made sure the spotlight stayed on her for about 5 straight minutes. She did beat Tay Mello in their match, but I didn't even ask for her to wrestle at this point. I mean, I'm just cool with her just acting. Like, if that's what she believes this is, every slap is like a Shakespearean soliloquy. Every hip attack is a French art film. But she questions who she is without the championship. She questions her friendship/relationship. But one thing's for certain. She's going to challenge Statlander for that belt. A really interesting part of the show was Hangman Page, Samoa Joe, and Hobbs teaming up against the Death Riders. Now, this match was, what it was going to be. But what really was interesting happened after the match, per usual. Team Hangman wins, and while he hands everybody their championship belts, he kind of drops Samoa Joe's on the floor. But the way he hands it to him is like he kind of puts it in his chest. Like, it was disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. Hangman trying to spit it a bunch of different ways. Maybe he didn't mean to. Maybe he just had his emotions running. Maybe he was just still feeling the hatred that he had for Moxley. But you can see the way Samoa Joe was looking at that. That wasn't cool. He starts cussing out Hangman, and then the security comes out, and he reminds Hangman that you never beating me. He's interviewed about this moment backstage, and he's done with all this cowboy-ish. He says, man, Hangman, you in some deep-ish. And he doesn't even really raise his voice. But when Joe says that, it's like a little scarier than a horror movie jump scare. So they matching up for the title at Wrestle Dream. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Who's winning that match? The Gates Agony matched up against the Swirl, which is a hilarious name for a tag team that has nothing to do with ice cream. But, yeah, them boys tried. Gates Agony just treated them like gym warm-ups, dude. I will say the Swirl is exciting to watch, but they couldn't do nothing with these boys. After the match, Ricochet tossed up full Christian back into the ring for a spirit gun, just for fun. We ended up seeing the Hurt Syndicate showing up, fired up. They apologized. Well, MVP apologized for performance at All Out, admitting they lost a step. But he said he don't feel like wrestling anymore, because maybe that's just not in the cards for him. He wants to fight. That's something he can do better than anybody, especially any of them fools in the ring. He challenges the Demand to a street fight, and Ricochet accepted. This ought to be good. The main event was the mixed tag match of Statlander and Darby Allin versus Wheeler and Shafir. This was no slow start. They brawled in the crowd before the bell even rang. Darby and Statlander had surprisingly good chemistry, but Yuta and Shafir controlled with chairs until Statlander suplexed Shafir through the timekeeper's table. I don't know what it is with these folks in like nails, tacks. I don't get it. Just sick. Marina got her bare feet stomped on the thumbtacks, or just tacks. Ouch. Yuta tried powder. He ended up blinding Marina, and she choked him. Statlander hit a 450, and then Darby hit a coffin drop. I really didn't know that Statlander had a 450. Does everybody just do the 450 now? Is that just regular? But yeah, after they win, Toni Storm faces off with Statlander, and they brawl until security drags them apart. Darby was left alone and was instantly jumped by the Death Riders. Like, sometimes you gotta know when your time has come. It's like if you stay out and play after the street lights are off, go home. Darby Allin, you shouldn't have stood there and watched. End of the day, Pac chokes him with a chain, and Mox shows up promising to make Darby say, I quit, and they laid him out as the show ended. Woo! I know I did a lot of yapping, but 6 years of AEW has brought us to a pretty solid point. I was really intrigued with some of the returns that we've been seeing over the last couple weeks, but Andrade was a crazy return. Dude, all in all, this show was pretty solid, man. For y'all know, I like to rate things yay, nay, and okay. I got to give it a yay. And I think that's on the precipice that this show opened up a lot of interesting could-be storylines. Are we going to see Andrade matching up against Kenny Omega at Wrestle Dream? I mean, dude, I think, again, he's at least returning to the top of the card. So that's awesome. And he's going to get an opportunity to put together some solid matches. So, hey, he's at least earning a check over here. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with El Clone. We even saw that Don Callis is orchestrating Okada and Takeshita to jump into a tag match against BRODIDO. They are reluctant, but this ought to be interesting as well. Like, dude, Don Callis literally has half of the AEW roster on his side. But yeah, what is going to come up this week, I think is going to be interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I do appreciate y'all, again, for the patience and whatnot, but we just going to keep vibing. Let me know other videos you want me to check out, react to, whatever, talk about. Stay tuned to the next one. Oh, seriously. Let me know, too, if y'all want me to live stream some more events. Again, I did it up here before, but I could do it with the show. If y'all like, and I might get that as a gift to y'all for joining the Patreon community for that free ski. But y'all let me know.